The conditions weren't easy. I think it was never going to be a game that was pleasing on the eye because there was a swirling wind and the pitch was cutting up from the start. But it was the same for both teams, and there's absolutely no excuses. Liverpool just never got going, and the first half was absolutely desperate. I don't think either keeper really had a proper save to make, and then it was always going to take either a bit of brilliance or a bit of luck to break the deadlock, and Sunderland managed that with obviously the ball shot from Fraser Campbell, hit the post, come back off Pepe's head, back onto the post, and dropped kindly for Nicholas Bendtner. But also you've got to ask, why was Bendtner the only person following it in? Where were Liverpool's defenders? No one reacted to it. And then the changes came after that. We saw the introduction of Steven Gerrard and Andy Carroll, and then Downing came on as well. But there was a bit of an improvement in the last 20 minutes. But never really threatened to get an equaliser, and in the end I think Liverpool got what they deserved.
A statistic knocking around this past few days that if the league had started in January, the Reds would actually be in the bottom three. So what's the problem been since New Year, do you think?
You're right, it's not just a recent problem. I know obviously that there was a statistic on Saturday that Liverpool have lost 3 on the bounce in the league for the first time since 2003, and I think sometimes you can get like a freak few running results, but you're right, you look back to, I think going back to mid-December, it's 10 points out of 33, and that is, that's a relegation battle form, and the progress in the cups has kind of helped to kind of paper over the league form to a certain extent, but it needs to be addressed. I mean, the most obvious one is the lack of goals. I mean, you look at it again, 30 goals in 27 league games now. It's just not good enough. I mean, there's been a lot of games this season when just a finishing touch has been the problem. Certainly, like the Arsenal game the week before, where the general performance was excellent, but it was in the box where Liverpool failed. But on Saturday, it wasn't a case of missed chances. It just simply didn't create anything. There was no energy, no invention, and as Steven Gerrard says in the Echo today, the players need to take responsibility for that. And the skipper's looking for an instant response against Everton tomorrow night.
This is it, big week for the Reds. Tomorrow, and obviously cup game at the weekend. Do you think the Reds can deliver and take heed of Gerrard's words?
I think so. I mean, you look back, and I think I don't think Saturday was quite as bad as the Bolton away performance in January, but it wasn't far off. And on the back of that, there was a really bright response. Liverpool went on that week to knock Man City out the Carling Cup, and then Man United out the FA Cup. And they find themselves in a similar position now, really. I think they are hurting after Saturday. I think the players have been left in no uncertain terms that they did let themselves down. But they have got the chance to redeem themselves. Obviously the derby is a perfect game to put a smile back on people's faces. And then arguably the even bigger game this week is Stoke on Sunday, because that defeat on Saturday, I think, pretty much has put the final nail in the coffin of any hopes of Champions League qualification. So the FA Cup takes on much greater significance, and Liverpool find themselves one win away from a return to Wembley, and that's obviously the great incentive they face when Stoke come to Anfield on Sunday.